Welcome to the OVW podcast, the unofficial podcast of Ohio Valley Wrestling. My name is Jack Minogue.
And I'm Brian Hines.
It's a Monday in the feed. You know what that means. We are sitting down with another superstar of Ohio Valley Wrestling, this time in the form of your U.S. champion, Erik "Da Bomb," Erik Surge. Erik, how are you?
Pretty good, guys. Pretty good. My head's still kind of sore from this past weekend, but hey, we're alive and we're well.
Hey, I'd love to hear it. Thanks for sitting down with us.
Yeah, we really appreciate it.
Absolutely.
Let's just start at the beginning of 2025. Nightmare Rumble. You're an Iron Man in the Nightmare Rumble. Let's fast forward a few months. You're the national heavyweight champion. Let's fast forward a couple weeks after that. You are the U.S. champion, a brand new title. You've had an amazing first half of 2025. My only question right now is, what's left of the rest of the year for you?
What's left for the rest of the year?
Yeah.
I stated at the beginning of 2025 that the year is going to be about the bomb, Erik Surge. I said that from the get-go.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I knew I was a new kid on the block. There's so many great talents ahead of me. There's Mahabara Shira. There's Jesse Goddard. There's even Tony Evans. There are so many great talent. But I said from the beginning, watch out for me.
Mm-hmm.
And it started with the Nightmare Rumble, lasting almost an hour. Now, I didn't get the job done. That's okay. Unfortunately, Doug Basham got the job done because he's a weasel. But when I got the opportunity to finally have a shot at the championship, I was going to get the job done.
And
it took an army for them to beat me the first time. And it even took more people, even people returning like Tony Gunn returning to hit me in the, my parts. But I still walked away as the winner. And now we started this new era, the new era that everybody's been wanting, the Surge era in OVW. And it's going to continue that for as long as I'm champion. I'm not stopping anytime soon. We're going to go into the rest of the year as your OVW United States Heavyweight Champion. And we're going to go into 2026, continuing this reign for a very, very long time.
Did you ever, so anytime that a title is renamed or a new title is introduced, much like you were the national heavyweight champion, you got a new title for the U.S. championship. That's an instantly iconic moment in the history of any professional wrestling company. And let's face it, Ohio Valley Wrestling has a ton of iconic moments. Do you feel any pressure after being placed instantly in a moment that people are going to be talking about forever?
I feel that it's a big wake-up call for everybody else because I'm the very first. Like when the record books show, it will show that I was the last OVW national heavyweight champion, and it will show that I'm the first ever United States heavyweight champion. That's a big accomplishment for anybody.
Sure.
And I'm very humble and blessed that I was the very first one to do that. And with this title, it comes a lot of responsibility. I'm the captain of the ship. I'm the big dog around this place, and I'm gonna continue leading the troops. I'm gonna continue showing OVW that we are the best in the world. I'll continue doing that.
You actually touched on a couple of things in that answer that I already had kind of on my question book, honestly, which is ironic. You mentioned the new era. That's something that you repeated to me in person. Ashton Adonis repeated to me in person. It seems like there's a whole new energy in and around OVW because it is a new era in OVW. And then you also mentioned responsibilities as a champion. And I was wondering if you could expand on that a little bit.
Absolutely. I'm not just a champion just at OVW. I'm the champion for our company everywhere I go. Every coffee shop, every library, the job, everywhere. I hold myself to a very high standard being our top champion. And I continue showing the world that Ohio Valley Wrestling is still one of the top in the world. And me having this title proves it.
So when did you start wrestling?
So I started actually, which is funny. I only started wrestling in 2022.
So you're only 3 years into your career.
Yes, sir.
So were you always a fan? Was it always something you wanted to do, or did you just like get introduced to this crazy world?
No, I've always been a fan. This is my, not to sound cliche, but this is something I've always wanted to do. I've always been a fan of professional wrestling.
So what led to the decision to jump in to professional wrestling full force?
My grandmother.
Really? Um,
Yeah, when I was very, very young age, uh, God rest her soul. She when I was like probably 2000, 2003, 2004,
mhm.
um, her favorite was Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Okay.
And
Nice.
I remember watching an episode of Monday Night Raw. And the very first match I watched was a match between Shawn Michaels and Christian. And I
Okay.
immediately fell in love with everything. And the rest was history.
And so, if I understand it correctly, your grandmother passed away before you started your wrestling career.
That is correct.
So, is family's pretty important to you?
A family is very important to me. I understand that, I travel so much. So like people that are very close to me, I take it as they're my family. So I'm a big person on family.
Mhm.
If you my biggest thing is you treat me right, I'll treat you right because this at the end of the day that's all we want. We just want to be treated right.
So, how does the rest of your family feel about the last 3 years of your wrestling career?
I believe they did not expect how much growth I would have because
Mhm.
they've watched movies and stuff like that. They see how demanding professional wrestling is, which I love. I love that it's a it's a grind, and I've lived my whole life wrestling in a grind. Before even I did professional wrestling, I wrestled in high school and college,
Okay,
so
makes
I'm
sense.
already used to the high demanding, stretch. You gotta always be on top. You have to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, especially in wrestling, literally, you should always end up on top. Um,
Absolutely.
you mentioned Shawn Michaels and Christian, but who are some other guys that really like maybe that you model your game after, or you look at to this day, and you say, "Oh, I can do that."
Um, Probably my all-time favorite is Batista.
Okay.
Um, Sean is one of my all-time favorites. Owen Hart. Um, yeah, there's so many people. Yeah, there's so many people I can name. It's just all around that time. Even watching Al Snow,
Hmm.
like there's so many things that I've learned throughout the years of just learning how to be the best I can be when I step through those ropes.
So you mentioned Batista right off the bat there. Of course, Batista is on all of the best of lists of people that have come from OVW. Like, how does it make you feel that there's potential in your career to be on that list, like next to Batista?
I mean, the very first day I walked in OVW, I saw the I already knew the history that OVW carries, and it's a prestigious history that I carry with my back every single day I wake up. But just knowing the fact that stars that I've looked up to like Batista, John Cena, The Miz, Randy Orton, Brock Lesnar. There's so many people, and it's very humbling because like I can say that I've wrestled and now I'm the champion at OVW. It's amazing.
You mentioned that you wrestled in high school and college. Any other sports?
So I wrestled. I wrestled. I started wrestling in high school. I played football um, from probably the end of my eighth grade year, to all the way to ending of my senior year of high school.
Okay.
I did some track, and I also played basketball as well. But it was just something with wrestling. It was different. It was um, I felt home,
Hmm.
and it felt like this is something that I feel is going to lead me to what I want to get to at the end in the end game. And the end game is wrestling in front of thousands of people.
What's something that you learned in organized sports that you carry with you into the world of professional wrestling?
You have to accept criticism.
Okay. I love that answer.
That's that's I feel that's the number one thing I feel every athlete, and regardless if you're an athlete or even when you go to work or you're talking with somebody, you're trying to be the best version as you can. And how you do that, you have to accept criticism, whether it's good or bad. You have to.
What's a criticism that you've received since you've been at Ohio Valley Wrestling?
Um, Keep learning. Open your ears. Don't be scared of of negative feedback, because you're always gonna get some feedback that you don't like. But I'd rather get feedback to better myself than to not get feedback. If I don't get feedback, then there's something wrong. I love to get feedback.
That's a good point.
And do you think that that's like do you think that that's a skill that you take into other areas of your life as well?
Absolutely. It's a drive that I have. It keeps me hungry. Like I personally feel the more critique I get, the more ways I can better myself as a human being inside of the ring and outside the ring is going to make me better in the real world and make me better as a person whole.
That's a great answer. I'm going to turn it over to my co-host here, Brian Hines. I think he's going to change the pace a little bit.
I don't
Absolutely.
know whether I'd change the pace, but I do have a couple of questions. So when you were going into your match with Doug Basham, I believe that was April 24th, what was your mindset in going into this match and wrestling for an individual title versus going into a tag team match for a title, which you were tag team champs with King Bomani, correct?
So yes, so I feel it was a lot different. It was a lot different. I failed the first time, and I beat myself up about it. At the end of the day, people could say it all they want. Like Chris has screwed me over. I get that, but at the end of the day, it was still I didn't get my shoulders off the mat. It's still my fault. At the end of the day, Doug Basham beat me. So it made me realize the thing, like, okay, I gotta dial it up. I gotta turn up because I had the opportunity to shock the world and I failed. So I had to find myself. I had to dial up my training. I had to get my mindset right because for me to beat Doug Basham, for me to beat the Revolution, for me to free OVW and the fans from the tyranny of the Revolution, I have to be that cold-blooded killer. I have to be the monster that's going to defeat this tyrant that's been taking over OVW for the last year.
Okay.
So going into the match, I knew I had one goal. I knew the cards are stacked against me. I knew it's a one versus all. But regardless of whatever's going to happen, I'm not going to keep my shoulders on the mat. I'm going to keep getting back up, and I will beat Doug Basham for the title.
And you most certainly did, and congratulations.
Thank you.
How did it feel when you received the new title? Because we were there that night.
We were.
And I can tell you how we felt, but I want to know how you felt.
I was very shocked. It's amazing. Even to share the ring with my boss Al Snow. It's a very humbling experience. I'm very grateful that I got to share that moment with him. But I shared it with all of you guys. This was not just a win for me. This is a win for OVW. This is a win for every single person watching at home, everybody that's in the Hot Point Davis ring. This is a win for all of us.
That is a very good answer because I can speak for both of us when I say that's how we felt. We felt lucky to be in the presence of your presence in this particular night where we were able to witness you receiving this new belt. It was something that we all experienced together,
Mm-hmm.
and I know that we were all proud of you as a collective group, the Davis Arena crowd and everybody watching at home. And again, we just want to say congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you, guys.
My favorite moment from that evening wasn't even the unveiling of the new title. There was when Jessica, the ring announcer, was getting in, and you instinctively held the ropes open for her. And I had this moment where I was like, this guy is a class act and is going to be a great champion. Like, it just, for some reason, that really small thing, on top of the great year you had already had, I was just like, this works for me on so many different levels. I've often described you as a very, like, giving and gregarious champion. You're a champion that does not mind to have those big promo spots out there by yourself. You're a champion that doesn't mind interacting with the crowd. You almost thrive off of it. Where did that quality come from?
Um, Pressure.
Okay.
I would say pressure. Pressure turns, dust into diamonds is what I've been told. I mean, you have to be uncomfortable in situations. You have to, and it's either a sink or swim. And, every single time I'm in that ring, every time I'm in front of a camera, every single time I'm looking at millions of people, it's a moment. And I try to make that moment. And I try to make the moment with all of us. It's not just about me. It's about all of us. It always will be. So it's it's something that I like to do. I like to you put me in an uncomfortable situation. You put me in in a corner. I will knock it out of the park. I will find my way to get out, and I will shine.
How do you strike such a balance? And this is like an honest question after the little bit that we've talked to you so far. How do you strike such a balance between self assuredness and being so humble?
Um, I, I to be honest, I gotta say it's for my dad.
Okay.
It's always for my dad, but at the same time too, I feel good things happen to good people.
Hmm.
You have to you I say this all the time. You have to be humble. Like what good does it make if I was a cocky prick that said that I'm owed everything? No, you're not owed anything. If you want something, you got to go out there. You got to bust your butt. You got to put the time in. You got to literally go out there and get it. And I'm not saying by like take it like that means by take it by force, do it. But you have to get when you get that opportunity, knock it out of the park. That's what you have to do.
This is we touched earlier on how important family was to you, but we've touched on it now again. Are you a big family, siblings? What's the situation like?
I do have a big family back home. They watch OVW every single week. They love OVW. They love professional wrestling. It's a very it's very humbling, and I'm very grateful that my family get to see me do what I do best and do what I love. So it's great that they can watch me do everything that I've always wanted to do.
Well, and you know how wrestling fans are. We think that we know everything. Have your family ever called you and been like, "Well, you should have done this"?
Um, my mom, and my mom would say, my mom, I love her dearly, but yeah, my mom, 100%.
What'd she say? If you don't mind me asking.
She's very hard. She sometimes gets a little bit too worried, which is fine. You need people like that.
And
You
that's what
need
moms do.
yeah, you need your close ones like that. I think it's a good thing to reassure her, like
Hmm.
I'm fine.
Uh, did has did so they're all like fans. Like you never had to explain anything to them, right? Like she never questioned like, oh well, he didn't do this in high school wrestling. Why is he doing this now, or anything like that? Okay.
Nope, they have my family has always had my back for whatever I've done. So it's great.
I've got Brian Hines. Unless you have anything else, I have a couple more.
Actually, I do. So you mentioned when you faced Doug Basham the first time, and then subsequently the second time, you knew it was one versus all. Speaking of the
Mhm.
outside interference with Crixus and Tony Gunn coming back and giving you the Bobby Hill, that's my purse, I don't know you treatment. Uh, it appears as though you're still dealing with Crixus and Tony Gunn as recently as last night.
Yeah, it's like I can't get the revolution BS off my back. It's a headache.
Sure.
Like I personally felt that the revolution would be done after I took out their leather daddy Doug situation.
Mm-hmm.
Clearly not. I knew when I beat Doug Basher, I knew their his henchmen, if you say, would want a piece of me, which is
Sure.
fine. I welcome all comers. But I get it. Crixus has beef with Tony Gunn because clearly Crixus can't get Tony Gunn's head out of his ass, if I may say. So
Oh,
it's
go for it.
you know, it's it's a little annoying. Like that's your business, but now because your business interfered with my match, now we have a problem.
Yeah.
Oh,
And I'm gonna have a lot to say coming up. I'm gonna have a lot to say.
well, your promo pieces are some of my favorite. When you just get that big set piece in the middle, microphone, single spotlight, those are some of your best moments, and not to mention all of the moments you spend wrestling, right? So very much looking forward to seeing what you have to say in the coming weeks and months. Um,
I I I can tell you right now, it's not gonna be the the typical I'm happy to be here and we're doing this. I think that this is a little bit personal
okay.
because again, I I I lost last night.
Yeah.
Not
That's
fairly though.
no. I lost last night because why? Because there's two children that is in my ring having a little discussion because one can't accept the fact that one's an alcoholic and the other one can't accept the fact that he can't get over the hump because he got hurt and he left. Yeah, I have an issue with that. That's your problem. You take care of it like men, out of my business. Tony Gunn, I'll be honest, Tony Gunn is a phenomenal competitor, but I'm better. And because of a little slip up, because of Chris is getting in my business, wanting to interfere in my match, which he didn't need to. You could have just waited till I got the job done, and then you can have at it. I don't care. But now you interfered. Now you want to stick your nose into my business. So now, like I said, I'm gonna grab Tony. I'm gonna grab Crixus. I'm gonna put them in a box, and nobody's gonna stop me when I do it.
Love to hear it. It's going to be hard for my questions after that. What's uh, if you could go back and tell yourself something in 2022 at the start of your wrestling career, what would it be? Now that you know what the past 3 years have been like.
Um, I mean, I still tell this to myself every single day: is trust the process. Um, it's gonna be tough. It's gonna be tough. Just be prepared and be ready for whatever happens. That's my biggest thing. Be ready for whatever life hands you.
And if I could, I think this interview really started cooking with family stuff. I kind of want to end it with family stuff. If you could let your grandmother know like one thing, and it doesn't even have to be wrestling related, what would it be?
Um, I would probably say I'm thankful for she watching me right now. I'm thankful for everything that has led me be the young man that I am today. It wouldn't be because of her. It wouldn't be because of my dad. It wouldn't be because of my mom. It wouldn't be because of so many people I've met that has helped me become the man I am today.
Hmm.
So I will always be I will always cherish all the moments I've had with her, and I will cherish everything that I've learned from her.
Erik Surge, where can we find you on social media?
Oh, so social media, of course, Facebook. If you just type in Erik Surge, I post every single day, whether it's highlights, whether it's recaps of what has happened the night before. I always post every week my schedule where I'm at.
You
I
do.
travel a lot to, because I literally said change, and we're gonna keep making these changes. And one of the changes is everybody needs to come to OVW. Everybody needs to come to the Hot Point Davis Arena and experience it live. It's great to watch uh, on uh, on TV. That's great, but the atmosphere, the
Yeah.
electricity, just the
Yeah.
it oozes greatness when you come to the Hot Point Davis Arena, and I feel everybody needs to do that.
And if you're a fan of this show, you listen to us say that all the time. But if you've never been, listen to the champ say it. Go to Davis Arena, 4400 Shepherdsville Road, OVWTIX.com. Easy enough. Did we get your social media?
So Facebook is just type in Erik Surge. My Instagram is the one good bad guy.
That's
And
right.
then on and then on YouTube, you just type in the bomb Erik Surge. It has all my matches that I always post on YouTube. I also vlog as well, um, just to keep it because social media is a big thing nowadays, and that's
Mhm.
one of the things that helps with creating, growing, and putting stock into your market.
Erik Surge, U.S. champion, OVW U.S. champion. Thank you so much for sitting down with us today.
We really appreciate it.
Absolutely, absolutely. This is very fun. We need to do this again in person.
Anytime.
Looking
champ.
forward to
Anytime.
it. You name the time.
Well, are you guys coming to? I know you guys are going to the next pay-per-view.
Yeah.
You have to.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. We'd love to
So-
set something up in Louisville that day.
So we should set something up for the pay-per-view. Like let's set up like we do an interview like a couple hours before the pay-per-view.
Sounds perfect. So
Absolutely.
We'll have another interview with Erik Surge soon. Erik Surge, thanks so much for joining us, man.
Thank you guys.
Thanks.